My future looked bright. I had 2 law degrees, just found a job, just got married, and all of a sudden, in a split of a second, my whole life, all my dreams just turned upside down. I was scared. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to turn or how my life would be. And then I met Dr. Bitagauda.
When I first met Elena, we didn't know if this was something that represented a tumor versus something that perhaps she was born with, or something that developed very early in life. Over time, a progression of scans and evaluations eventually led us to understand that this abnormality was growing. We discussed her case in our multidisciplinary group called the Tumor Board, where we have experts from the surgery side as well as oncology and radiology side. And the recommendation was given that she was young and the abnormality was growing, that we should do surgery.
On the day of the surgery, I remember Dr. Bitagauda would come in and he looked so confident and reassuring and kind and peaceful. And I was like, okay, let's go.
We obtained imaging to understand where the eloquent parts of the brain were in relationship to the tumor. And we went in and removed everything that looked abnormal in order to remove it as well as to establish a diagnosis.
The surgery went well as expected. And then, after the pathology came back, I saw Dr. Bitagauda in his office. He delivered the news that it's stage 3, it's grade 3 brain cancer. I was terrified. I wanted to scream. I don't know how to explain how I felt. Like, okay, what do I do? Is it treatable? How much time do I have? I was so scared. I was so scared.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
How are you doing?
Great. How are you? Good to see you. You will tell me how I'm doing.
I think you're doing great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just took a look at the images. When I first met Elena, we went through the pathology together, looked over the scans and talked about the implications of her tumor and developed a treatment plan.
I had radiation and chemo at the same time. There were 33 radiation sessions along with the chemo, and I remember while in sessions during the radiation, I would hear occasionally the sound of the bell. And I knew that bell ring for those patients who completed their radiation sessions. And that was the light at the end of the tunnel for me. And when I completed my 33 radiation sessions, I rang that bell 33 times. I couldn't resist, but hit it hard for 33 times because I knew that me ringing that bell is the hope for those who are in session. That is the end of the tunnel for them, just as it was for me once.
Elena is an incredibly inspiring person. When you follow or treat somebody for a very long time, you get to know them really well. And I think that's an incredibly important element of our work. Every person is different. Every tumor is different. And I think that treating the whole person, as opposed to just the disease, is really critical for what we're doing.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it's back. And I didn't know, do I have enough energy in me to fight it back this time? Does my family have energy to go through something like this again?
Unfortunately, brain cancer does come back in many people. For Elena, we discussed it as a group again in Tumor Board and with Elena and her family, and made the decision to have a second surgery.
Well, the recovery after the second brain surgery was tough. It was very difficult, but little by little, headaches get better. And one morning I would wake up and I felt better.
The question was then really, what is the best next step in treatment? We considered going back to repeat radiation and chemotherapy. However, the question was, could we postpone repeat radiation with its known side effects? And would this be an opportunity to try an IDH inhibitor?
So in 2006, we looked at 4 cancer types. One of them was brain tumors. The most exciting thing found was really mutations in IDH1, because that was a gene that was not expected to be involved in cancers at all. But it was unequivocal that in a certain type of brain tumors, which we now call IDH mutant brain tumors, this gene was mutated in 100% of them.
So we had to jump through some hoops because the drug had not been approved yet. And with some joint efforts, we got the compassionate use protocol approved for her. And the first question is always, how does somebody tolerate this medication? And that all worked out really well. And her scans have remained stable. And so we can continue this and postpone the radiation.
Thankfully, Elena is doing beautifully well. Her quality of life is great, her neurological status is perfect, and while we're going to watch things very carefully with MRI scans and clinical evaluations, we're very optimistic that Elena continues to do everything she loves to do with the people that she cares the most for.
I want to see my kids grow. I want to see my son, to see his dreams come true. He wants to become an NHL hockey player. And he's been working hard on that. And I want to see my daughter grow. And she's just 3 years old now. And whenever she wants to do, I will support that. Every day brings its own challenges. It's just how it is. You have to fight. You have to survive. One day at a time, one step after another, one step after another.